So, I've got some cool things that I want to show you all tonight. I know that uh, some people are traveling for the holidays or getting close to it, but I still want to get this recording done. We've made some, in my mind, significant changes. Um, so let me share my screen here. All right, so let's see here. So this is the old website. I was using a WordPress website for 4 years. This was my COVID project. And I remember sitting on the beach like July of 2020. Everybody's like staying away from each other. And I got the brilliant idea to create a um I guess for just an online network. So before this I had been using Thinkific to get the training material out. And then I was trying to use a Facebook group to get a community. I never went on Facebook for the community. No one else went on the community Facebook page either. And so that was fine. So I looked around. I figured out I was going to build a WordPress website. And this is what it looks like from the back end. And anyway, I've got all my plugins and all that stuff. The website took so much of my time for maintenance, for kicking out bots, um, up updating plugins, just stuff that you guys don't need to hear about. But it was just, and the kids were involved too. And I'd get that fateful text that, hey, the website's down, and off I go, or Jimmy goes talking to GoDaddy, trying to figure out why the site is down. And then I came across this other platform that I want to show you here. And for $100 a month, this other platform does everything that I wanted my website to do. And so I switched everything over. We switched all the training material is over there now. If you haven't signed up, get in touch with me. I did included that into the connection email. I know it's going to take a few emails for people to realize that, hey, we're making a switch. But I have to say goodbye to Truly Passive. And people were having login issues, password resets. It was just, if I had 30 people on a team or something, but um, I think this school platform, they probably have a massive tech team that would handle all the stuff that I was trying to correct. So anyway, it's called retirement cash flow. And this is a school community where, see, like you could even see now right at the top of the website, it says we're live, Fast Track Business Zoom meeting. But it's only for Fast Track members. It's freaking awesome. I mean, I set this calendar up in like 5 minutes. So I can, and I'll just show you a little bit of why. So I can go in here and edit this event. And the only people that are going to be able to get on the Zoom thing are the people that I've given permission to see the mentor calls or the fast track information. And it gives exclusive Zoom just to you folks. That is huge. That would have taken me months to figure that out. And, you know, I loaded everything into the calendar in like 3 minutes. I put recurring ends never, and that's done forever. So you have the community. I can pin something to the top. Hey, please introduce yourself to the group. I know that some of you are already in here, which is fantastic. I appreciate you reading the email to jump in here. And so the way that this works for engagement. Now, you can turn the settings on or off for notifications, of course. Um, but there's engagement, a thing called a leaderboard, which is really cool. And you can see right now this guy, Jai Anderson, he's high on the leaderboard with 5 points. And every time he gets a like for one of his comments or posts, he gets another point. And the way the leaderboard works real quickly is this is the way school has it marked up. Only one person, or 5% of the group, has made it to level 2, which is, if you want to look that up, level 2 is 5 or more points. Until they get to 20 points or 20 likes, then it puts them up to level 3. I don't know why I find that so interesting, but it makes me sit down and say, you know what? I'm going to see how many likes I can get on one post. And so it makes it fun. It makes it interesting. It's more engaging. To sign into this, it's so easy. There's no passwords, there's no memory, there's no robots coming in and trying to take over the website because that's what they handle. Um, so here's the part for you folks. So the classroom, I do have a cost on this self-directed IRAs for a wealthy retirement. This is not for you guys. This is for civilians that have no idea that a self-directed IRA can be used. And I'm going to be creating these courses as as time passes. But you can see that it lays everything out really nicely for you folks when you're going through any education programs. It's got collapsible menus, which is sweet. You know, because I've got a lot of different topics I talk about in this self-directed IRA for a wealthy retirement. If you know anybody who should be studying this kind of stuff, please send them over here. Um, get them into the group, and I'm just gonna I got some background noise. I'm just gonna mute it. If you want to talk, just go ahead and unmute yourself. And so, you know, I've got resources. It just takes you straight to irs.gov, and it's just really smooth. Like I said, so the classroom is here. Fast Track Premium is basically where you guys can get your education. I've given everyone that is on the website that's in the Fast Track group access to these all of the programs that Julie has uploaded into our into the old website. So all the training is here in the classroom, and then all the mentor calls. This was something. I mean, this was a the all. I see now, Julie, how many videos you had to handle. This goes all the way back to 2019, and some of these still need a title, but it's all, you know, Pacer and Edwin Kelly, and all of the training material is there in the classroom. So you guys are enrolled in Fast Track Premium and the mentor calls, obviously, because you're members. And then you can go and see any of the members. Like Dave just signed up a few minutes ago, 2 hours ago. You can go in here and hover over the picture, and then you can follow people. Every time they make a post, you'll get a notification if you have your notifications turned on. So that's the members. You can invite, if let's say, you know, one of your kids needs to learn about self-directed IRAs or something, you can invite people with this link, grab that, and then send that to them. And this is a free website right now, so people can join. Um, let's see, leaderboard. And when you do give them that invite, this link takes them to the about page, and they can see if it's something that they're interested or not. This is the about page. Got a little video explaining why you should join the website. And that's it for retirement cash flow for now until I start adding more classrooms. If you guys ever want to build a classroom, build a training thing on whatever it is that you guys, this is all about retirement. This is not just about notes. You can create your own training program on anything to do with a comfortable retirement, wholesaling houses or flipping commercial property, whatever. Just get in touch with me. You'll I'll show you how the thing works. I think it's really cool. The other cool thing about this, and this is how I found it, this is how what gave me the idea, was I joined this group. So I have all the different my favorite communities, my favorite school communities over here on the left. And I can just click in and out of all these different communities. And it's very enjoyable because I can see, all right, so this group has 1,000 members. There's 10 of them online right now. 4 of them are admins. So you can see who the admins are. You can see who's running this group. You can see what kind of classrooms and how they set up their classrooms. This guy, his name is Robert Krager. He's a new friend of mine, and we're doing some collaboration together on some stuff in investing in Puerto Rico. If anybody's interested in thinking about investing in Puerto Rico, so what he has is this flipper real estate group. And this is a free group. You can join for free. And this group actually feeds his Apex group. His Apex group is a paid group. I think it's 99 bucks or 97 bucks a month. And the idea is to have the free group feed the paid group so that he's making like 100 grand a year on this. And he just started this in August. So if you guys are interested in starting up your own school, hit me up because I would get a commission if you guys create a group, which is fantastic. So you can see here, this is that leaderboard that I was talking about, where I'm number 2 in the leaderboard because I like to do a lot of posting in here. I haven't done anything in a few days because I've been working so hard. Here, interested in self-directed IRAs to raise capital, and it's just fun. I mean, to get the conversation going. You know, I got 7 likes and 4 people commenting on my post, which is really cool. This is the son. This is a father and son team as well. McKenna, he does he's a very technical guy. His father is not. His father thought that email wasn't going to last. Pretty funny. But that's that group. And so in this group, there's 115 people paying him. He started out at like $49, and then after a month or two, he jumped it up to $79, and now he's up to $97. They do a lot of investing in Puerto Rico, and I found that fascinating. And I may be steering my ship in a different direction. It's funny how things turn like that. We love Puerto Rico, and I'm trying to figure out how to get some notes out of Banco Popular. That's my mission for Puerto Rico. So that's their group. He's got 1,000 people in this one. You can see how fast this website is too. My website would never run this fast. His Apex paid group And then this is my buddy Charles Blair. Some of you know him from when we did a Note Vision event over here in Bayhead. He came and spoke at that, him and his wife, which is really cool. So I do a webinar for him called Endless Cash Flow Zoom meeting, and you guys are going to be invited to that too. And so he's got 50 members. I think he just started his group. He's got maybe a $20 a monthly fee for this group. And then if you want to really go big, you can see, well, I don't know if you guys would actually have access to the school games, but is it the school? Yeah, the school games. And then if you go to the leaderboard on the school games, just to give you an idea, this is monthly recurring revenue that these people are earning on their school platform. And you can see the highest one is $117,000 a month. Um, Here's a mastermind. And so to get an idea of how they're generating 93 grand a month, which is a pretty serious number, you can actually click on a group and see their about page, which this is their about page right up here, about. And he's making it in $600 increments per person. He's got 182 members right here at 599 a month. Let's go back to the leaderboard, and now you can see like some of these guys are getting these huge numbers, and they're charging 29 bucks a month, but they just have a huge group in there. So I thought that's very interesting. And once you are following someone in this group, this thing up here never changes. And so the different groups that I'm in, like this guy, he's in a real estate group, and so here's like this is a conversation I'm having with the leader right now. His question was, does a $130,000 loan at 11 3/4, is it worth it to pay 4 1/4 points compared to 14 3/8 interest rate with 2 points? And so I answered him. Now we're going back and forth, and I enjoy that communication. So this never changes. Like the notifications are from all the groups that I am in, not just my own group, which I love because you kind of cross-pollinate groups now and bring good people over to your group that you like for their content. So another thing, and as you guys go through this, hopefully you'll find some good people that you can bring over to my group too. So what I did was I just brought over, oh, Tony's in. Um, Robert Krager, he's the guy investing in Puerto Rico, him and his son. And so I brought him over, and then I brought his son over too. And I've already got some great people in here. It's only been yesterday I started inviting people. Here's another guy who's a former student, real smart kid who went to Columbia University over here. He lives in Sao Paulo, Brazil, but he's a good dude. I just got a lot of, oh, Tom, he's a good dude. Um, this guy, he's a big note buyer. So this is serious for your business too, because you can make connections. Like I'm actually speaking with this woman Sarah right now, and she is doing land brokering. So I asked her to start looking for stuff for us in North Carolina. And so use it for your business, use it for your pleasure, use it for your business. Um, Jimmy, I was sending you something where I found a community. So this is how you search the communities. You can go to Discover Communities, or you can create your own. Go to Discover Communities, and then the categories. So what I was looking at was video editing. And I ended up joining this guy. So he's got a paid group for 239, and then he's got a free group as well. Um, this kid, he's like 20. Look at it, he's like a youngster. He is actually on the leaderboard. He's getting 239 a month for every member. And I believe he made it to the leaderboard. Yeah. This kid who edits videos is making 15 grand a month. It's amazing. Um, it just gives you so many ideas and potential ideas. How come my chat won't open? There we go. Oh, I like that. Um, so I just wanted to throw this out to you just to show you this whole nother world that is available to all of us. Um, the guy the guy who put all this together, his name was Sam Ovens. I've been following Sam, man, since the internet. And then he connected with my other hero, Alex Hermosi, who ended up investing $10 million in the school platform because he thought it was good. And it's a pretty big investment to make on something that changes with the wind. But I'm pretty excited. Any questions about this or comments?
Mike, did you think about how you might forward the trulypassive.com URL to your page here, or is that not a possibility?
Oh yeah, no, I would just do a forward to when you go to trulypassive.com, I would just forward you to the sign up page. Yeah, I appreciate that. Is that what you mean?
Yep.
Yes. But Truly Passive wasn't getting much action, and it was too hard to log in. But from here, I can bounce from group to group, and it's like instant. It's like crazy, crazy fast. And I think you guys are going to enjoy this a lot more than Truly Passive. I know Truly Passive was a little painful. I thought this would be a sad transition, but I'm so freaking happy. I spent 4 years getting that website going, or we spent 4 years keeping that website going.
Mike,
Hey, Scott.
yeah, is your training still going to be available at Truly Passive, like the calls and the videos?
Yeah, so everything is here now. I see you signed in late. So everything is, oops, wrong website. So everything is here in the classroom now, Scott.
Oh, all right.
So
Oh, all right.
you got all the mentor calls, and there is a ton of them. And then you have all of the training is in this one. And Scott,
Okay.
I will give you. So let me show you how easy it is to give you access. So are you on this? Did you sign up for this retirement cash flow yet?
Not yet, but I mean, obviously, I'm gonna do it probably before the end of the day.
What'd you say?
I'll sign up before the end of the day. I'll be
Oh,
signing up.
okay, cool. Did you got the email, I'm sure.
I did, yeah.
So all you do is you go to members and then you go to your profile. No, I went too far. See, it's so freaking simple. I just go to here, membership. And then I go courses, and I've already given you access to Fast Track Premium and Mentor calls. And then if I wanted to give you access to another one, I just click on it and boom, you're in. And that's it. There's no access granted. Done.
All right.
It's so freaking simple, man. I was killing myself, or we were. So yeah, I just keep going through the list. I'll find a Fast Track member that just signed up, or I even put in the email that when you do sign up, send me a chat and it'll be in my chat. Say, hey, this is Scott. Get me in.
All right.
So yeah, like this is the newest Fast Track member who just signed up, Noah, and you guys will get a chance to meet him. Very interesting kid. I think he's 19 years old and he's a commercial pilot already.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of powerful people in this group. A lot of people that are doing stuff. Josh Cox, he owns a hedge fund. His father is Cody Cox, so there's another father and son team.
Oh,
And these are people you guys need to connect with. He's got a big hedge fund that are, what does he say? Business leader, note investor, business strategist. Um, some serious people in here. But I'm looking for civilians too, because I want to help people open up self-directed IRAs. I think opening up self-directed IRAs is a wonderful thing for raising capital. And you know, if you're out looking for deals, you're gonna need cash and not have to use your own all the time. So what do you guys think?
It looks like a really interesting platform that was developed, specifically for something like you wanted to accomplish, as opposed to you having to try to, build this on your own from scratch. So it certainly is a lot. It's very robust.
It's so robust. It's simple. You know what I mean? Like some of the best things are just simple. And just to show you, let's say the in the classroom. So I like this. Click a new course. I have 4 different ways, and think about this for yourself too. So I've got 5 different ways that I can charge somebody. I can make it private, which I did for you guys. So I click on private, and then members you select can access. And then I started building the course. I got the course name, course description, and put in a picture. I can have a buy now, pay once membership. Um, and this is the fun part. So let's say I create a course on whatever, how to buy your first 2-family house. In Where do I go now? In the leaderboard, I can say at level 4, you would have to get 65 likes, meaning you're going to have to start making some posts that people are going to like because you want to get into that free class. So it just fills out the website with content, good content, because you're not going to put any, and I can go in there if it's somebody's putting garbage in, I can delete that. But if you're putting in good content about how you got your first fix and flip or you bought your first set of notes, you're going to be getting the likes to get to that class on how to whatever. And so you're gonna fill up the website with good content, and this school platform monitors your website. So they say, hey, this website is getting new members rapidly. This guy's got 1,000 members, and the content is fantastic. And he's already got 22 pages filled with content. I'm gonna I'm gonna put them. I'm gonna do more SEO for this one than they're gonna do for my website. So there's outside traffic looking at these inside performance of what's going on inside these school programs. And that's another reason why I switched, because I was going to start paying guys in Pakistan 4 grand a month to get more traffic to my website. This school platform will do it. Um, what do you call that? Not generic, but
Organic.
thank you. Organic traffic. Thanks, Jim. Organic traffic because of the activity that's happening inside. And that alone was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm sold. I'm just going to provide a lot of good content. I'm going to get people interested. I'm going to get people in here. I want to get investors that are in here. And we're going to do some crazy deals together. Oh, it just hit 60. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
I signed up for the retirement class or club.
Okay, so you're in. So now I just go to members. Oh, you're the 60th person. Oh, you win a ice cream.
Wow.
I, I got a membership. I go to courses. Has access to. I'll get you into Fast Track Premium, and I get you into mentor calls. Done. Oh
Right.
God!
Wow.
Wow.
Your superpowers have grown.
Now I don't think you're going to get a notification, Scott,
Mhm. All right.
but you can go right now into the classroom and start working.
Okay. I will. Well, I mean, not right now, but
It's so cool. I'm just like super excited here. And if you guys come up with any ideas on other platforms that you would create, I think that there's a lot of things that people can create. Doesn't have to be about notes, doesn't have to be about real estate, that you can create and start getting monetized. Um, I just very excited. The more ideas by poking through these communities. Now let's just do that for a second here. So these are all the communities that people have created. And I thought there would be a page after page after page thing. Um, so let's search for, I think I'm in a page for finance. No, let me type in retirement. And it's pretty amazing that I came up like, I'm like, oh man, I came up, there it is, boom. So it's just flawless. I haven't found anything I don't like about it yet, which is hard to believe because I'm pretty picky when it comes to this kind of stuff. I mean, that's why I was trying to build out my own for 4 years.
So, Dad, I know you mentioned like other platforms and stuff. How does this compare to for you to like Udemy or Skillshare?
Okay, so Udemy didn't have the community. I love the community part of it, the connection part of it. Skillshare, I did not really research too much. I started looking into this, and then I joined that Flip Flop Flipper, and I just I just stayed on that website, and I just looked at it, and I'm like, this is what I freaking been trying to build. So I guess I was in the right direction 4 years ago because these guys went ahead and did it for me. But I was in this Flip Flop Flipper, and I started dropping some some bombs on these people, and next thing I know, the owner's like, "Who the hell are you, man?" And he's like, "Come on, come down to Puerto Rico. Let's buy some stuff." I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, it's oh, man, it just blows me away how easy it was. And then Julie, also for creating the the courses, you're gonna love this part too, because that was your job building the courses out. It literally was. Let's go to mentor calls, and then so this is 2024 second half. So that's what we're in right now. We're in the second half. Um, so I literally come up here, go add page folder, open that up, edit this. And now this one would actually be November 21st mentor call talking about school. I click on link. No, that's wrong link. I click on the little YouTube thing. I grab my Vimeo from my other screen. I drag the link in. I go add, and it's done. Then I can add a blurb here if I want. Hey, this is the one that we talked about, school, and how to get into the membership program, and blah blah blah. And that's it.
Sweet.
Yeah,
I'm excited to jump in on the back end, honestly.
yeah. So I can fold all these up, and I've got 5 years worth of weekly and biweekly calls all scrunched into this little thing. Like when COVID came out, we were going crazy. We were having webinars every week. And so we didn't wait 2 weeks. I think I even have in here um something to do with COVID, dealing with COVID or something. And oh yeah, adjusting for COVID. Um yeah, all of these videos are there, and just good to go. I love it. So does this kind of get you guys ideas flowing a little bit?
Hey, Mike, I missed I'm sorry, the first 10 minutes. But aside from login issues from Truly Passive under the old platform, what else did you not like about the old platform?
Okay, so a lot of stuff. The speed, I don't know if it was just the speed on my end, but I was having server issues with GoDaddy constantly. I think the website just ran too slow. Like for me to go into the back end, I click on dashboard, and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. It's like, holy crap, man. And then everything comes up, and then I click on. I was constantly kicking people out because I was getting all of these. I guess they're bots. I would come into pending signups, and there'd be 37 people trying to break into the website. Um, so now I've only got one, which is cool. But these are people that have signed up to join, but they never received the subscription email to confirm their subscription or confirm their um, whatever. So I was just doing all of this back end. We all were constantly updating plugins. Like, right now I got two. I was in here today, so I got two plugins that need to be updated. That was a constant thing. The cost, um, I was spending thousands per year just keeping this thing up and running. And what else was I talking about at the beginning of the call? I was able to grab all of my contacts that were in here and upload them to school, and school automatically sent out the invite. I got 2,261. School sent out 2,261 emails to invite everybody, and it was done. I didn't even have to go and create an email with Fluency. It's just, Tom, it's just like um, amazing. The speed, the speed alone. So now, if I wanted to go in to visit the site, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And I mean, it taught me a lot. I gotta say, yeah. It taught me about WordPress, and then I had hired a team in Pakistan to help me with this, and they had helped me with some of the things that I wanted to see. And they're like, when you start getting a couple hundred people on this website's going to break. I'm like, really? I said, well, I'll deal with that when it happens. And then I started poking around on school, looking at um, like this website has 22,600 members. There's 486 online right now. I'm like, sold. Just because of the fact that my website wouldn't break. This website is so fast. It's like boom, boom, boom. That's just, I would have paid $1,000 a month just to have that. So it was just my luck that I came across this.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually Jack Krupe was doing an interview with that guy Robert Krager from Flip Flop Flipper. That and the link that was in that YouTube video that brought me to school. So I guess I owe Jack Krupe a drink, because he's in Puerto Rico, and he did a podcast with Robert Krager, and that's kind of how it all started for me. So
I see
here's
Evolve is there.
what's that?
Is this all types of real estate groups? Like right below your mouse, it says Evolve. I was actually on the phone with Evolve today. They're a management company.
This one?
Yeah. Yeah. What's that?
Shopify brands. I don't think it's the same
Uh,
one.
No, it's something different.
Um, so yeah, just the size of the groups alone, 22,000 members with 500 people online right now. And it runs like this. I'm like, yeah, that's fantastic. Now I'm blowing it up. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, that's been my week figuring out that these people are really monetizing the crap out of whatever it is they can monetize. Anything else that I can talk about here?
This is kind of separate, but I may have missed it. But I was just wondering if there was anything like an update on those seconds. we
Okay,
talked about.
so that was Scott Munson. So yeah, good point. Thanks for that. So what I did was I put in an offer on shit, quite a few notes. Let me actually pull that tape up. There was 62 million in UPB, and I put an offer in on 6 million, 6.8 million of the UPB. And they were, let's see, what was the name of that one now? Well, I'll just go by memory. So there was 6.8 million UPB, and I put the offer in on the worst of the worst. I started with the worst of the worst on the tape. So that was UPB under $25,000, second mortgages, non-performing. It's the worst of the worst. And I think the offer came up to about 650,000 bucks or something. I said, let me see if I can get their attention by putting an offer in on the worst of the worst. Like, who else does that? Everybody wants the best of the best. And let me see if I can't get their attention so that they'll talk to us about maybe another purchase. And we put that offer in on Friday. And then Scott is on a cruise for a couple of weeks, but he does have internet. And so I said, enjoy your cruise. Let me know if you hear from these guys. So we're waiting to hear back.
All right,
Yep. Good point. Thanks for that.
sure.
So yeah, it would be really cool if, we said at least pique their interest and say, what's with these guys? How come they're looking for the crappiest notes? Some of the crappiest notes have turned out for us to be our best notes ever. I know I talked about this once on another call, but my camera is out again. Nice. I'm waiting for a new port for it. I bought a note for $1,500. It was a $300,000 unpaid principal balance on a second mortgage that was so underwater in Florida. I'm surprised the guy stayed there. He owed like 1.6 on his first, owed me $300,000 on a second. He was 2 years behind when I bought that mortgage. He was 2 years behind on his first. I bought that note for $1,500, and I just let him alone. I didn't bother him. I didn't call him. All we did was send a hello letter to say, hey, your loan was transferred from here to there, or from there to here. And I never heard from the guy. I never tried calling him, and I never sent him a statement, nothing. And then 2019, apparently he had been focusing in paying his first mortgage down. He got caught back up. He didn't lose the house. a beautiful house in Ponte Vedra, Florida, whatever it is, Ponte Verde or something, up in Jacksonville area in a beautiful neighborhood. And he ended up giving us a $75,000 downstroke so that we would stop the foreclosure, and $1,550 a month for the next 3 years, with a balloon of $175,000. And we're about a year and a half into that payment stream. That was the worst note I ever could have bought. And it turned out to be the best. So I don't mind playing with some of the worst product because I'm getting it so cheap. You know, I got $300,000 worth of UPB for $1,500. It was a hedge fund that was done, and they had some assets left over, and they were just cleaning the house, and they're like, you can have these 5 assets. How much will you give me for them? I said, I'll give you $5,000. They said, give us 8. I'm like, okay. So I put a cost basis on each of these things at $1,500, and one did get wiped. One was a short payoff. One is this note that I'm talking about, which is going to be a full payoff, and another full payoff. So I made one of my alumni students very happy because it was his $8,000 that I bought these loans, because I didn't have $8,000, and so we used his money, used his IRA. So his IRA is blowing up 50-50. So he gets a check every month for $750. We split that $75,000 with that downstroke that we got. He got a check for 32.5 or something, and or 37.5, and yeah, that's
So at some point though, you did send a letter or something about foreclosing.
what's that?
You mentioned foreclosure that it sounded like the borrower had responded to like a mention of foreclosure or something that's when he started to pay.
This was his counsel came up with this $75,000 down and $1,550 a month.
Okay, was it just out of the blue or
No, we had started. I'm sorry. Yeah, we started foreclosure.
okay?
This was a David Roy, and Tom's the one who introduced me to this lawyer, which has been fantastic over the years. So I talked to David Roy once, about 5 years before I bought this note. I called him up. And a woman answered the phone. I said, and this was right when Tom had told me to call this guy. So I spoke to this woman. I called the number, and I said, I'd like to make an appointment to talk to David Roy. All of a sudden, he picks up the phone. This is David Roy. You don't need an appointment to talk to me. I'm like, this guy's cool, man. So we had a great chat about the business that I'm in, and I had, I think, 3 Florida notes that we were going to start foreclosure. He was like, send them over. And so then that was the last time I had talked to the owner of this firm. And I was always talking to another guy named Tavon. And Tavon has become quite the ambassador for us as our attorney marching into foreclosure. And when we got this, opposing counsel came up with, so they wouldn't show us the statement for the balance of the first mortgage. So, well, we're not going to work with you then. Because if it's $1 million and the house is worth $1 million, we'll work with you. And they said, we're not going to show you. I said, then we're just going to continue foreclosing. So the opposing counsel comes back, and I answer the phone. I'm like, hey, Tavon. He goes, this is David Roy. I'm like, oh, man, how you been? He goes, I got some fantastic news. Your borrower's a brilliant opposing counsel, because we had a few run-ins with this opposing counsel. This is a stale note, and you can't come up with a stale note like this. And we're like, it's not stale. It's just we didn't do anything with it. I guess you could call it stale. And this is what we're going to do. We're not going to show you that first mortgage document. We're going to give you, and this is David Roy telling me, we're going to give you $75,000 down, $1,531 for the next 3 years with $175,000 at the end. David's
Wow.
like, what'd you pay for this note? I said, dude, I literally cannot tell you. I can't tell you. You just wouldn't believe it. And so I told him, and that was just like one of the best notes I ever bought, I must say.
Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like you kind of build in, I guess, a lot of patience with at least your seconds. You're willing to fight and I guess not forget about it, but not bother with it for a while and then see what happens.
Well, yeah, like so Mary and Julie they'll sit down and say, I think we should start foreclosure on these guys. Some of these notes I bought a year ago, some of these notes I bought 7 years ago.
Hmm.
And I was just talking to a guy today, and there's a guy, Robert Krager, and he's got a $2.8 million UPB note in Puerto Rico that he wants me to help sell. And that's a broker deal. So I'm going to get a handsome paycheck when I sell that thing for him. And this is why you guys got to be out there shaking the trees, because here's a guy I just saw, Puerto Rico, and then I started talking about the note business, and he realized that, hey, I know what I'm talking about. And so he called me up today, and he's like, listen, I got a non-performing note that I bought with they were my two other partners. And then they got real busy doing another project, and I bought them out. And I own this note now. And they stopped paying me. I think they did make some payments. And I was just telling him, I said, yeah, I've got notes that I sit on for 5, 7 years, and the note gets better. The first mortgage starts paying down more principal on the first because of the amortization. And so they're paying down the principal on the first. Our note is accruing interest, and the house values are going up. Now, house values don't always go up, but the first mortgage balance usually always goes down, and our interest always goes up. And so I don't know any other business where the lazier you are, the better things get. Like when you're flipping houses, you got to bust your butt. You got to
Yeah.
move, man. You got to shake your tail and get those things sold. This business, it's like, oh yeah, let's look at this one now. We bought it 4 years ago. um, it's a fantastic business, but I would have never been able to broker a $3 million note unless I talked to this guy, Robert Krager, part of this community, talking to people. He's like, oh yeah, maybe you can help me out with this note. I literally today, he called me up, and he's going to send over the collateral. So I don't know how it works in Puerto Rico. He says he already has a foreclosure attorney. He says, I need to sell this note to someone else because I don't want to foreclose on my two other buddies, because we're not drinking buddies, but we're pretty close. But if I start foreclosure, that would be the end of that. So if I sell the note to someone else and they foreclose, I'm still kind of good.
His hands are clean.
And so you never know who you're talking to. You never know. Here I am talking to a flip flop flipper. What the frick is that? And next thing you know, I'm in a $3 million deal.
That
It's
28 million, is that like a hotel or is it just a,
yeah, it's a hotel.
oh, okay.
It's a hotel down at the most western southern tip of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is like a rectangle.
Yeah.
And the bottom left corner, he's got this property that is a big hotel. And now, we got to do some due diligence. Sounds like a trip to Puerto Rico, which is never a bad thing. And yeah, I'm very excited. And that's a $3 million brokering deal. So I don't know,
But
4% of that, 3% of that, I'll take that.
yeah, you're mainly single family residences though, right? This is kind of unusual.
Illegal?
No, 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 no. Unusual. I mean, you usually work with single family residents,
Oh yeah, no, this
right?
is the first time.
Oh, okay.
This is the first time I've ever done a deal like this. And this is strictly a brokering deal. This is me going out and sending out an email to everybody that I know that's got some bucks to say, "Hey, I've got this deal. Do you know anybody who might be interested? And if so, push them my way and we'll split a commission."
Hmm.
Um, um, I would definitely help the end buyer do some due diligence by going down there and seeing what this thing looks like and what can be done and what it needs to be renovated. And I know it got hurt by Maria.
Hmm.
And so yeah, it's a deal that wasn't there 2 days ago. And it was from school.
Right.
It's crazy, right? But but that's how it works. You got to go out there, and if you want to do these kind of deals, you got to go out and make yourself known. This guy would have never known to call me up, but I presented myself as a note investor, and he's ready to do a deal. So tomorrow I'm on it.
What timing?
Well, yeah, I mean, you could say it's timing, you could say it's luck, but
For timing.
it's being out there. And I may never make a dime off of this, but any other note deal that he ever comes across, I know he's going to call me. Um, unless you horn in there, Scott. I know you're part of that group now.
Well, yeah. Well,
I would love to see you doing something with these. It's just there's enough for everybody, but it really is about shaking the trees and putting the word out there. I don't know. There's 1,000 people on that flip flop flipper, and if I put some note information out, one of them comes up with a tape, says, "Hey, my brother-in-law is the banker at Banco Popular. I know the Banco Popular sells notes. I know somebody who bought a tape from them, 200 notes, and they were all over the island foreclosing on people and
hmm,
building up a rental portfolio. So
right.
that's how it
Yeah,
works.
I did try contacting them. I'll be following up then on those attempts to contact them.
Oh yeah, that's right. I talked to you about it too. Absolutely.
Yeah, Banco Popular.
Yeah, I mean they're on Distress Pro, and
Right. Well, yeah. I
uh,
mean, it's basically it's. I mean, I've never been there, but it seems like it's not too much different from going to an actual state in the United States. It's uses U.S. currency and yeah, it just seems a lot. There's a lot of similarity, although it's not an official U.S. state.
Yeah, well, they just did a. Did you were you on the webinar for that Red Atlas?
No, I couldn't make it. I had to miss it. But
Some pretty serious software.
oh yeah, what does it do?
Well, it does what it does what like a thing like PropStream does for the US. US is a lot easier to get public access to information or public
Mhm.
information because the county websites are there, the tax records are there, it's in English, all that good stuff. Puerto Rico, they have, he was talking about these zombie homes, these zombie commercial buildings where they don't know who the owner is. They don't know the owner has been dead since 1985. They can go back into the 70s to look for who took out the permit. It's like a big way to find out information is by permitting. And it's fascinating. I love the idea of the harder it is to get information, the better the deals are because of the competition. Not that I believe in super competition, but everybody and their brother goes to all of the foreclosure sales in Florida because they're all online. I think even people outside the US go online and they're bidding on properties and they're bidding them up high because they've got money and they don't care. But when information is scarce, like what Julie did with North Carolina, as far as physically going to the county courthouse and manually digging through the upcoming foreclosure list and then writing down with a piece of paper and a pencil when the sale date is, what the property is, what the property address is, and then going home and driving to the property and looking at the property, and then physically having to go back to the courthouse to place your bid after the foreclosure auction has started. And then it's just a lot of moving parts. And that's what made it so difficult. And that's what makes it, I think, so attractive. And if you can get a tool like this kid came up with this Red Atlas to it pulls up all kinds of information, but it's going to all these different places to get it. And I have not even started digging into it yet, but this is the website. This is what it looks like. And that hotel that I'm talking about, I'll be getting the address. It's down here somewhere in Cabo Rojo. Um, so yeah, I'm super excited about all this. It's just the opportunity that I see is just unlimited as far as access to people, and that's where the deals are. Deals are with people, and so yeah, that's
Right.
that's that's my school experience for the last couple of weeks. That's the rabbit hole I went down pretty deep. Any other questions or comments?
Hey, Mike, on that five note $8,000 purchase, was that recent or was that a while back?
That was in 2018, I believe, 17 or 18.
Okay.
Yep. Those were those were all seconds. They were nationwide. And it was a hedge fund. It was a 5-year hedge fund. And so that was another random guy that called me up. So this guy, Ed, I called him Fast Eddie because he talked so freaking fast, man. I couldn't understand what he was saying. But I met Fast Eddie when I was first looking for my first group of notes that were outside of my mentor on LinkedIn. And he was involved in a fund, in a small fund with the guys out in the Maddens. Tony knows the Maddens out in California. And this guy introduced me to the Maddens. And this guy, Fast Eddie, was partners with the Maddens on, I don't know, 20 or 30 deals. And then they said at the end of 5 years, whatever money we've made, we'll split it up. And then whatever notes we have, we'll sell. So Fast Eddie calls me up years after I met him. I started working with the Maddens in 2009. And this guy calls me up in like 2016. He's like, I got these 5 notes that we're going to liquidate. Would you like to buy them? I'm like, sure, send them over. That was from a relationship that I had made 5 years prior. But I was a nice guy. I was nice to him, even though he talked so fast I couldn't understand him. And he said, I said 5,000. He said 8,000. Now I would have probably paid 20 or 30,000 for him, but I don't know. He just said, give me, he goes, I don't know anything about these things. I just know that if I don't sell them, Don Madden's just going to keep them, and I don't want that to happen. So it sounded like kind of a desperate thing. I said 5, he said 8, and we agreed. And then when the first note paid me off in full, I sent him $500. He's like, what'd you do that for? I said, I probably should have paid $8,500 for that pool. And he's like, wow, thanks. I never saw anybody do that before. I said, well, just keep me in mind if you ever come across any other notes again. I'm your guy. And that's how I present myself. And that's how I present myself for the last 15 or so years is you never know who you're talking to. You just never know who I used to say, you never know who you're sitting next to in class. Because Tom Nardone and I went to high school, and he went on to become who he has gone on to become, and I have too. And we were just 2 kids with long hair in high school. I had no real ambition other than to be a machinist, and I think he just wanted to play with cars all day, right, Tom? He's probably not there. But
Sorry, I
Don
couldn't.
Madden. Sorry. Go ahead.
you there, Tom? Anyway. So, when Tony and I were in these mentor calls all those years ago, and I've talked about Dave Van Horn quite a few times, but they're huge now. I don't know how many billion-dollar fund they've created all these years later from the information that we gleaned from those couple of calls that we did. Billions in funds. And
That Don Madden of Trinity Financial.
that's the Maddens.
Okay.
Those are the California guys. Don Madden, Trinity Financial. These guys are partners for Payment Relief in Pennsylvania here. And he was painting houses and I was flipping houses when we both got on these calls. And then they went on. I sold them a lot of notes. I sold them notes for about 4 years. And I made a lot of money brokering notes to those guys
They
because
also sell notes.
they used to sell notes. PPR used to sell notes. They used to buy and sell. And then they would buy notes off of me. I would buy notes off of Don Madden, sell them to PPR guys, and they were very good about maintaining the distance on that relationship, which says a lot for these guys. And it's all about relationship. Anything else, guys, before I'm going to get a little hoarse here? All right. Well, listen, thanks for being on the call this evening. I would love to see you fool around with this classroom thing. There's still probably a lot of things I don't know because I'm only a week into, maybe 2 weeks into having this platform. So I probably didn't cover all the good things. If you discover anything, please let me know. I can let the group know. Because it just gets better. It just keeps getting better and better, in my opinion. And the
Mike,
amount of
sorry.
information in the communities, I think, is when you click discover communities, it's just endless.
There's one last thing.
Yep.
That's all right. There was a section on school for games. Do you know how to access that?
For what?
It was something you brought up earlier on for games.
I think this is only for people that actually have
You have a group.
that has a group, either paid or free.
Yeah, I thought so. I just wanted to check.
Because that's how you can get on the leaderboard.
Right.
I would love to get on the leaderboard. You can get on for only 12 grand a month. I mean, making 12 grand a month. So this guy's $49 a month, and he's got 1,200 members. That's friggin' awesome. Yeah, very interesting.
Hmm.
So thank you, folks. Have a great night, and have a great Thanksgiving.
All right, you too.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks all.
Thanks.
Good night.
Good night.